Long before humans measured time, before kingdoms rose and fell, there was a story that explained why flowers bloom in spring, why leaves fall in autumn, and why winter brings the earth into silence. It is the story of Persephone, queen of the underworld. Persephone was the daughter of Zeus, king of the gods, and Demeter, goddess of agriculture and harvest. Among all the divine beings of Olympus, Persephone was known for her beauty, kindness, and radiant spirit. Wherever she walked, flowers blossomed beneath her feet, and nature seemed to celebrate her presence. Demeter loved her daughter more than anything in existence. She protected Persephone fiercely, keeping her close and watching over her every day. But far below the earth, in the shadowy realm of the dead, another god watched from afar. Hades, the ruler of the underworld. Unlike many stories told about him, Hades was not evil. He was stern, powerful, and lonely. While the other gods lived among feasts, celebrations, and endless company on Mount Olympus, Hades spent eternity governing the souls of the dead. His kingdom was vast and magnificent, filled with rivers of mystery, ancient spirits, and treasures hidden beneath the earth. Yet despite all his power, he ruled alone. One day, Hades saw Persephone gathering flowers in a meadow. Her laughter echoed across the land, and for the first time in centuries, something stirred within the Lord of the Dead. He fell deeply in love. Unable to ignore his feelings, Hades approached Zeus and asked for permission to marry Persephone. Zeus understood that Hades was not a cruel ruler, but he also knew Demeter would never agree to such a union. Rather than refusing, Zeus remained silent, and Hades interpreted that silence as approval. One bright day, Persephone wandered through a field filled with flowers. The sun shone overhead, and the world seemed peaceful. Then she noticed an extraordinary flower, unlike any she had ever seen. As she reached for it, the ground beneath her suddenly split apart. The earth trembled. A massive chasm opened. From the darkness emerged Hades riding a black chariot pulled by immortal horses. Before Persephone could escape, Hades seized her and carried her into the underworld. The earth closed behind them, and she vanished. Her cries echoed across the world, but no one came. Demeter searched desperately for her daughter. She wandered mountains, forests, rivers, and cities. For 9 days and 9 nights she searched without rest, carrying torches through the darkness. She neither ate nor slept. She only searched. Eventually, the sun god Helios revealed the truth. Hades had taken Persephone. Demeter's grief became rage. She abandoned her duties as goddess of the harvest. Without her blessing, crops stopped growing. Fields turned barren. Trees withered. Flowers died. The earth entered a state of despair. Humans began to starve. Animals disappeared. Famine spread across the world. Even the gods became concerned as fewer and fewer humans survived to worship them. Finally, Zeus realized the crisis could not continue. He ordered Hermes, the messenger of the gods, to travel to the underworld and bring Persephone back. Hermes descended into the kingdom of Hades. There he found something unexpected. Persephone was no longer the frightened girl who had arrived months before. She had become stronger, wiser, more powerful. She sat beside Hades on a magnificent throne. Together they ruled the underworld. When Hermes delivered Zeus's command, Hades agreed to let Persephone leave. But before she departed, he offered her a gift, a pomegranate. Persephone ate several seeds from the fruit. It seemed harmless. But the food of the underworld carried ancient magic. Anyone who consumed it became forever connected to that realm. When Persephone returned to her mother, Demeter's joy was beyond words. Life immediately began returning to the earth. Plants grew once more. Rivers sparkled. Forests awakened. The world celebrated. Yet there was a problem. Because Persephone had eaten the pomegranate seeds, she could not remain permanently among the living. A compromise was made. For part of each year, Persephone would live with Demeter on the surface. During that time, Demeter's happiness would bring warmth, growth, and abundance to the world. These became spring and summer. But for the remaining months, Persephone would return to the underworld and sit beside Hades as queen of the dead. When she departed, Demeter's sorrow would return. The leaves would fall, the air would grow cold, the earth would rest. These became autumn and winter, and so the cycle continued. Year after year, century after century, a balance between life and death, light and darkness, love and loss. Persephone became one of the most powerful figures in Greek mythology. No longer merely the daughter of Demeter, no longer simply the wife of Hades, she became the queen of the underworld, respected by gods and feared by spirits. Her story reminds us that even in darkness, transformation is possible, that endings often create new beginnings, and that some journeys change us forever. Even today, every spring flower and every winter frost echoes the ancient tale of Hades and Persephone, a story of love, sacrifice, and the eternal cycle of nature itself.